rape is a men's issue. You guys must solve it. We're tired. Personally, there's nothing I can contribute to solving rape and gender-based violence in this country. Men of South Africa must solve it. And radio is like that. You need to keep doing the thing to get better. So if you're putting her there for 2 years, you're removing her and you say women are not good enough. How are they going to be good enough when you don't give them equal opportunity to prove themselves?
I hear you.
Or
I hear you.
why don't you prepare them before? I regret getting into a public relationship with a famous person who was immature. And I leave it at that. Yeah.
Subtitles left the country a long time ago.
What do you mean? She left the country?
Yes. When she went overseas
She left with King Kong to go to the US.
Yes.
One of my role models, one of my heroes.
Actually, when I get in there, what's the most memorable moment of you and her?
So Felicia spoke to my life. She said to me, because now this is when I'm like already at Metro FM. She says to me, and the boys were really, this whole thing of like
boys club.
Boys club, and making fun of people. This thing of it's called image laundering, where you pull down someone so you can get attention of yourself. So there was an era of that.
Mm-hmm.
It was popular on radio, on YFM. Fat Joe was doing it. You'd mock Felicia and all of that. You do all of that, and then everyone's like, "Ubani lo khuluma ngo Felicia," or "Ubani khuluma lo ngo Penny," because things matter. If you're like on an original station, you're talking about someone who's on a national platform, it's dissing or whatever it's called. So, and I was struggling with a lot of that. And she was like, and also I was very vocal about how I felt, about how people go about it. And she was like, you have to come to a place, Penny, where you accept that you're a peacock, and they're trying to force you into a penguin suit. And there's actually a book that she referenced me to, that sometimes you just stand out because you're so colorful and bold and bodacious and exceptional and excellent in your way of doing things. And then that people are going to try and squeeze you into something you're not. And sometimes they actually think it's fun that you're at the same level or you're playing because they want to do that. But you gotta stick to who you are and accept that you're not the same level as them.
Did you move straight from Voice of Soweto to Metro?
Yes.
Interesting jump.
Yeah. I'm probably one of the few.
Yeah.
Count how many. Yeah, I moved.
From community.
So everybody that I worked with at Voice of Soweto, probably 89.9% went to YFM.
Yeah.
So the others went to like Prime Media as newsreaders, depending on the departments. So I was the last person to go on air at Voice of Soweto. And then I was like, Lord, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I had sent applications to Metro FM, and everyone told me that's not going to happen. Radio Metro at the time. So I'm actually, so when Radio Metro transitioned to Radio Metro to the new brand positioning of Metro FM, I'm one of those people who was there when that transition happened.
Sure.
From the meetings and when they were showing us the imaging and changing, so that's probably one of the reasons why my thing with Metro is like that. People don't understand because I know exactly where it was, where the vision was, and what it was supposed to be. I mean,
and what it is now.
I don't know what it is now. So I knew that, and then I hold that dearly because it was such a powerful time. Same thing with City Press. When it transitioned to just being a news, it was a newspaper for Black people and all that. But when it really became about excellence and Black excellence, I was there. So I feel like I really sat with people and worked with people who had a vision of what we are and how great we can become. So I'm very jealous of it that way. Same, so basically my Voice of Soweto Metro happened like that. And then, I think for like 2-3 weeks, I was like just not sure what's going to happen. There was some station at Hyde Park, a Jewish station. And then they're like, okay, maybe we can consider you for breakfast or whatever. And I was like, all right. I think I went for a day. And then the call came.
The Metro FM call. Do you remember who called?
I think it must have been Piwase. She was there. I got a message at home.
Okay.
I got a message at home because did I have a cell phone at the time? I probably did. We had pages and cell phones at Voice Society, we were also the first cool kids to get and cell phones, I got home and they were like, you have a message from Radio Metro, call. Or it's either POS or Ntate Mashego. So there used to be a man, Ntate Mashego, who was in programming there, like, please call Metro.
Sure.
Then they said, you must come in for a meeting. And then I had a meeting with Romeo and Pee-wee.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, this is what's happening. One of our jocks has been suspended. Well, it was in the news. So we have to shift a few things around. So Ben has to sit in for Vusiletswalo. And then,
Oh my, these amazing names you keep on mentioning.
and then, can you do 3 to 6 Saturday morning into Saturday morning and Sunday morning. So I'd go, so that's how I started.
So Sabu Graveyard.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, graveyard is 12 midnight, but 3 to 6. So that's
secondary graveyard.
Yeah, it's secondary graveyard. It's pre-dawn. It's
pre-dawn.
Pre-dawn, pre-breakfast. So that's what I did.
And how long were you on that show?
So because it was in the middle of the contract year, I did that. Maybe I got there like in September. I don't remember. But then by the new fiscal, then I was given 12 midnight to 3, weekly type of a thing.
Yeah.
So that one was a trial. And then when the following contract came, then I was given a mid 12 to 3,
weekdays.
Weekdays.
Yes.
Then,
yes.
And then someone else was doing 3 to 6 on Saturday, which Romeo was doing at the time. And then Pimela Mutene was doing the show, and then she left to go to Generations, and then I became the Fanta Funky Town girl.
The rise at Metro FM, I mean, it was beautiful, probably plagued with troubles, as you're saying. Image laundering happened here and there.
Metro's a beautiful time. Like, I was a kid in a candy shop. I was the girl at midnight that, people wanted me in the building. If I'm in the building, Kenny Maesty wouldn't let me pass by without making me say something on air. Glenn wouldn't let me pass by. So, like, I had these big brothers who just thought I was cool. Bendy Kobe called me Money, excuse my French, fucking penny. Because I'm Money Penny.
Yes,
and
yes,
it came through those guys, and I was just this cool girl who was just, with it. I would go to parties and leave the party to go straight to on air. I mean, initially, those first 3 months, my dad would wait for me. My dad would take me to work and wait for me. And then eventually he allowed me to, like, drive myself to work. And then I became a girl about town. And then I'd take like 3 or 4 of my friends to go. So we'd go to a party. And then I would leave the party, and everybody, like, if you wanted to come to me to the party, you go with me to work. That's the deal.
That's a condition.
It's a condition. We go to this house party, then we do whatever we do, and then we must leave the house party to go to work. And then I would fight with a lot of the girls or guys, because the girls I came with, I'm leaving with. And then the guys would be like,
I'm gonna stalk.
No, not in like that. It was an anti-stock, because I came with them. You can't take them.
I hear you.
If you want them, you must go fetch them.
Yes. Do your own work.
Do your own work. Like, go to their mother's house, pick them up. I'm not bringing them for you. So it was an anti-stock. So slowly, then I started, like, getting rid of the girls. Because I'll go with them to the party, and then when they get there, they're liked by certain guys. Now they want to remain. I'm like, and then your mother's going to say, you left it with me. And now, I don't know where this guy is going to take you. So I was anti-stock.
When was your peak at Metro? When did you feel, I'm peaking now?
I've never had an Mnandi session yet. It was just always a fight, because I was fighting for what I want. It wasn't. I mean, I had a great time when I was doing 3 to 6 Fanta Funky Town.
Yeah.
It was very popular, and then it changed when Fanta sponsorship ended, and it became the Aftermath. Dr. Dre album Aftermath.
Yeah.
So then I did that. It was cool. That such a show was cool, because then I would be in Durban, Cape Town for major events and doing stuff. But I think a year or 2 into that, things kind of changed, because I wasn't getting what I want.
What is not getting what you want?
I want to drive.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to drive.
Yeah.
Either breakfast or afternoon drive. I didn't
Yeah.
understand why I couldn't get any of those things.
Yeah.
So,
and what were they saying?
It was just sexist nonsense. I don't want to discuss it. It's still the same.
You believe it's still the same?
Yeah. I know. I don't believe. I just ended a contract with SABC last year in 2024. It's still the same. It's women are not treated as equally as men. Men are supported better. They paid better. They're given support system, producers, everything that you require. And men, I believe that they're gonna do well in certain slots. Women are trialed out in slots. And men are earmarked and they can be parachuted into positions.
I hear you.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
They can get you with your engineering experience, with no radio experience, and give you breakfast and say, we think Lungelo will do well. And then they give you 5 producers. And do it. As a woman, there's one, and then you're not sure, and then they're trying out this. It's like it's always trial and error. So, I mean, that's black radio for you so far.
Somebody...
And they will pay you half of what they pay the guy. If the guy was paid 300,000, they're like, we'll give you 150.
Yeah.
And then the guy might be paid 300,000, and then he's can negotiate for advertising revenue and whatever. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of stuff. So, and it's also been the same guys doing the same slots for the last 20 years. They've all been on drive here, on drive there. And so they've never done anything else. But as a woman, you must convince them that you can do the show. So I did. I wanted it. I felt that I'm a different generation of a woman. I mean, my radio icon is Shedo Twala, who pioneered amazing things in with jazz, contemporary jazz, and social issues of her generation. I felt like I'm going to be that girl for my generation. So I'm hip hop, I'm kwaito, I'm out there, I'm fashion, I'm street, and that's what Drive was. Hottest music, hottest parties, coolest people, international. And then I'm a girl who would give you a plan of what I want to do. I want to go to the Grammys, the Oscars, and this, and the content I want to do. So I wasn't a lazy...
bystander.
I wasn't a bystander.
Yeah.
And then I write emails, I send proposals. So I'm talking from that. And then I deliver on air. And I'm the one who will go fetch content. I will go to the clubs. I will go speak to the artists. I will break new artists on air. So I did all of those things. I pioneered ideas. So I didn't understand why I wouldn't get it.
I'm saying,
and the boys used to say that to me. They used to say, I used to hang out with Glenn Lewis, Robert Marawa, you know what I mean? In cool places.
Yeah.
Like where management wouldn't be there. They wouldn't know what a hot song is kicking in clubs. I would know. So why wouldn't they give me Drive?
I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to be the viewer who's saying, no, Sis Penny is complaining. There are women
complaining.
There are women on radio
now
who are doing well. And I'm actually trying to go through the list and I'm like, how many anchors though?
Yeah,
they are co-hosts.
They're co-hosts. You have sidekicks. Also, I refuse that. I didn't like that concept of like I must have a co-host. No, I don't like it. I want it to be penny and deliver and prove that we can do it as women by ourselves. And that's that. Most of the shows that I did them like that. I did the top 20 obviously like that. I did the Aftermath, which was transition from Fanta Funky Town the following year. So the first year I did it with the Fanta Funky Town was a highly packaged show. So we had international entertainment news. It was a syndicated concept. We had the hottest songs for that week. We had big stories. So we'd get clips. So it was highly packaged. So I would go to the production studio at Kit Lindsay to do all of that. So after that show, I knew I could deliver what's required. It was the best preparation for what Drive needs. You need to know what the hottest music is, what is the hottest news. And then obviously you have to localize it. And I was very good at localizing stuff. I knew the hottest DJs. I knew the biggest trends. I knew agency people. So like I'm saying. So, and I know the women who were given what slot at what time and how they didn't prepare them. And then they put them there for like a year or two. Then they remove them. The guys are there for 5 years.
True.
5 years. And radio is like that. You need to keep doing the thing to get better. So if you're putting her there for 2 years, you're removing and you say women are not good enough. How are they going to be good enough when you don't give them equal opportunity to prove themselves?
I hear you.
Or why don't you prepare them before? So that you're like, we're earmarking you, which they've done. Some of the stations and some of the women that we see now, in non-black stations, they've prepared them.
Prime Media.
Prime Media.
Yeah.
They've prepared some of the talent,
Yeah.
put them on certain slots, and prepare them. Like, and you could see their rise, how it goes. Like, I mean, a good story is Anele.
Absolutely.
You could see her rise. I'm an Anele fan.
Yeah.
And I know Anele from her first radio show.
Sure.
And I could tell you, this is where she's going to go with the right support. And that's where she is.
She was celebrated.
We lost someone like Semi Sosa. Semi Sosa was an amazing radio talent.
She's back on 947, by the way.
Semi Sosa is on 947?
They are grooming her. So they've put her on weekends.
I haven't heard her.
Yeah, I heard her last week.
So also the other thing that they do with black women is that they pick you off the tree before you're ready. You just plonk her off, you put her on prime time, and then you try. She's not ready. And then when and then you overwhelm her with everything, besides the sex that they overwhelm you with. Another conversation. Then before you know it, the woman is losing confidence. And then she's not, and then it's like, you see now this is what she's doing. Dineo, another great talent. Then they'll throw all sorts of people. Can you just let the girl be? Do her thing, pace herself, take her time, and let her peak.
I hear you.
Overwhelming people.
What made you leave Metro? Okay, I understand why. I mean, that moment when you said, I'm leaving, what had happened?
So I was on a contract. You know what? My thing is when people don't honor contracts or they try to bundle up stuff.
Yeah.
I always choose peace. How I left Metro was that I was put on 12 to 3, year 1 on my own, and I was building up. Then they decided to move Thomas, Bad Boy T from Breakfast, and make him co-host with me. And Thomas wasn't happy with that. Because he was on Breakfast, had his whole
Can
thing.
imagine.
And
I
then
can
they put him
imagine.
on. Then before the contract is signed, we're going to go on air. And then Thomas wants a specific producer. He says, I want this person to be my producer for this show if I'm going to do it. They're like, no, you can't have that person. That person is working at 5FM. And now I'm on air. Now this is April. The new show must start. Then Thomas is not coming, and it's a very difficult situation. And then they bring in your homeboy, Leko, from Durban,
Locomotion, yes.
Then Locomotion is in Jozi. The city lights are crazy. He can't keep up with the pace of Penny Lebyane. And then I think we had a Naked DJ as a producer. We did that. We struggled because we lived in different worlds. I was traveling. I was doing a lot of international stuff because I was trying to do content from that point of view. Like I went to London, I went to Monaco, and those are the kind of things I wanted to. And I wasn't getting the right support because now it's no longer, I can't execute holistically the ideas that I can execute. And then I gotta accommodate this pace that he's working on. No disrespect. You coastal people are very slow. You Durbanites and Cape Townians, you're chilled. This is it. Like radio for me is rhythm.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah.
So it becomes like that. And boys are boys. They club together. They think I'm being a diva by demanding to do certain things. And then they all pulled a stunt. And then they decided that they're gonna do the show with them. And then I must focus on something else. They wanted me to be a lifestyle specialist, and no one could put it in writing.
The show,
they wanted me to be a station overall lifestyle person. I must cover these international. It was like supposed to be a strategic thing. I must cover events, international events, content. You see, because now it's the emergence of that. But nobody wants to pay. Nobody wants to put it in strategic in writing. What is it that I'm doing? Because me, I'll ask you, if you're saying I'm going to be the station's this, I'm going to be covering lifestyle content and whatever. So if I'm going to be on Breakfast, how many times am I going to be in Breakfast? A week? A month? So I said, no problem. As long as you keep my salary the way it is, and as long as you can quantify strategically where I fit into the station. So I don't want to be coming to you as a Breakfast show guy and saying, I'm going to cover Parliament and I want to ask Julius where he bought his suit. No one told me that. It must be in writing in the programming format, and none of the managers at the time could put it there. They were just trying to get rid of me.
I hear you.
Yeah, and then I said to them, actually, it's okay. I'm leaving. and I was doing Mutswako at the time. So I was like, and I had just had a baby as well. So I had to choose my battles. I had to choose being healthy for myself and my baby, and going where I am where I'm celebrated instead of being tolerated. So I left because I was like, I can't keep every year trying to convince you what my worth is in this place. I've actually done so much. So I just said, that's it. I had a contract that was outstanding at the time. I had a 2-year contract, and I said, I'm not going to fight this contract because I don't have legal money, and then I can't deal with SABC legal department. So I just said, you know what, actually, I'm leaving. And then some people said, no, you should just come in and do a sit-in and go on air. I was like, no.
Kholwa emandleni onawo.
Oh my, we're finally doing this. What does EYL Africa represent? It's about standing in your power. It's about, in isiZulu, it's Kholwa emandleni onawo, which is our tagline. You will see it on the back of my t-shirts. It's about believing in the power that you have, believing in the power that your God, your guides have invested in you. Shop our socks, shop our t-shirt, and yeah, just keep believing in yourself. EYL Africa.
Now available on EYLshop.Africa.